What if I told you that Seoul has its own theme park that's basically a ripoff of Disney? The best way I've come up with on how to describe this place is imagine you're going to the grocery store to pick up Fruit Loops, but instead when you get there, you pick out the generic store brand cereal called Fruit Spins instead. This starts off with their mascots, Lotte and Lori, which are the raccoon versions of Mickey and Minnie. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Many of their rides are identical, such as the Adventures of Sinbad being similar to the water ride of Pirates of the Caribbean, and Pharaoh's Fury being a Jeep ride just like Indiana Jones. Now, if you can look past this, at its core, Lotte World is a theme park that opened in 1989 and today is the world's largest indoor theme park. The theme park is split into two sections. First is the indoor section, consisting of 6 levels where the bottom is an ice rink, and as you ascend there are numerous rides and attractions on each floor. The outdoor section is called Magic Island, which has more extreme rides like roller coasters and spinny rides. Unfortunately, I did not ride any of them because I had over a 2-hour wait for any of those rides outside, and it was over 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside, making it too hot to stand out in the middle of the day, so I went inside to enjoy the milder temperatures. To get here from Seoul Station, take the blue 4 line to Sandae Station and transfer to the green 2 and get off at the Jomsil stop. From there, we walked around until we found the south entrance of Lotte World and purchased a ticket the same day. There wasn't any wait because it was the middle of the week and the doors already opened. And as a pro tip, they did say you can get a 20% discount if you pay with a MasterCard. Once inside, the first ride we rode was Adventures of Sinbad. And directly comparing that to the Sinbad ride at Disney Sea in Tokyo, I can say that this one was even better, even if the animatronics were a little dated. Then, post-ride, we proceeded to get a little snack of tteokbokki, which came with a soft-boiled egg, and then we walked over to the cart rider and had to get a ticket for a time slot later in the day. And I'll come back to that ride later in the video. We continued to explore the theme park and descended into the basement floor 1 level and tried the wild rides, but for me personally, these rides make me so nauseous and I wish I had just skipped it. Needing to recalibrate, we went outside to explore the Magic Island and got some Dippin' Dots in one of the food stalls, and this is something I don't think I've had since I was a kid. As I sat there, we could hear people riding the Atlantis roller coaster, which is described as taking a boat into a mysterious temple with sudden acceleration. With the Dippin' Dots finished, we went inside and was surprised at a random parade that was going through the center of the park with a bunch of characters that felt like it had every Disney character that you could think of, from The Lion King to The Jungle Book, even Toy Story, Pinocchio, and Alice in Wonderland, just to name a few. So it was truly a bizarre experience and not one I was expecting to see. After that, it was time to ride the go-karts, and you go around the track 3 times, but these karts are speed capped, so you would go really slow and with maybe a max speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Wanting to ride the monorail next, we got on a nearly empty line, and this ride goes around the whole park. It starts by going outside over the Magic Island, then loops back inside and goes above the entire inside of the park. But there's one problem with this ride. Can you guess what it was? Don't worry, I'll give you a second. Yeah, there's no airflow in these rides. So on a hot day like today, when it goes outside, the sealed vessel gets warmed up, making it really, really hot inside. This hot box is hot, just like if you keep your windows up in a car in the middle of a heat wave. So only do this ride if it's cool outside. After melting in the monorail, it's time to get something cold, which for us was a shaved mango ice. And it really hit the spot, as there was chunks of fresh mango, ice cream, shaved ice, and some sweet condensed milk or cream cheese thing. The place we got the shaved ice was the Treble House, which has several flavors to choose from if you're interested. Then as we exited, we heard music coming from the center stage area, where there was a whole literal song and dance going on with several characters from the parade, which ended with Lotte driving away in a car. Now, the better way to see above the whole park, or at least the inside of the park, is get on the Aeronauts balloon ride that's on the top floor, and that lifts you up to the ceiling and circles the whole indoor park. We follow that up by riding the Pharaoh's Fury, which did have the longest line of the day at around 90 minutes, due to the fact that the ride only has 3 jeeps that go around the track. At around 6 p.m., we decided to head out of the park to go get dinner on the last night in Seoul. Now, if you ask me, was it worth it to go to this theme park? I would say it was a nice way to escape from the heat of the day, and it wasn't too expensive compared to, say, something like Disney. The main complaint I would have is that most of the ride lines were too long because they had only one ride going at a time, and you can imagine it would only get longer and busier on weekends. But let me know your thoughts if you're swayed into going to this park. And if you want to see my other Seoul adventures, click the video on the screen now. Lastly, if you want to see the next leg of my trip, be sure to subscribe as we're headed to a new island that's famous for its milk. So see you soon.